season, and we are underway on EA Sports. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Out of the gun, Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. A Charger first there as Herbert finds Williams.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. The Chargers had a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they coming off their very first loss of the season, suffered a week ago.
So now we can all take that chasing the 1972 Dolphins and take it and throw it right out the window, right? But let's face it, not many teams talk about that or even have interest in it. All they want to do right now is bounce back after that loss.
A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. They'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a second and 11. Now Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top two teams right now in that division.
And if you can build a bit of a cushion as you head towards the second part of the season, that allows you to survive the expected injuries, potential upset losses, all of those things, and still be in good shape.
On second down, Gordon once more. Now a loose football. The ball comes out and picked up by the Chargers. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. More from L.A. in a moment. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd down and 2.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. This is caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Mike Williams. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chargers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Now he's going to throw deep right side. He's got a man. Complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 37.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. So, Charles, you look.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
And so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 and 6 and went out in the first round. I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Got a man, it's Jeudy complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown or a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Wilson. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On third down, Wilson. To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. A couple of veterans, Wilson to Sutton there for the Bronco first.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Now on second and 13, Wilson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they can snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Rolling to his left. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain, and the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Derwin James with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Makes the score. Chargers 28, Broncos nothing.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Wilson getting right back to it after the pick six. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. And he's got this down to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Now it's Herbert. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this 2nd quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Finding Williams on the check down. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, Williams. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he's got room. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. His 5th rushing touchdown on the year, number 9 overall. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The Charger drive about to get going. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Eckler now between the tackles. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Herbert now. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and not get free.
Yeah, he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And now he's got him at a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. I think you and I were a little surprised back early in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set them up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That really sets him back, a loss of 6.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Throwing again on second down. Herbert. And this is caught by Williams. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Complete to Williams. First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And he's going to go down again. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down. 4th and goal. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up the third down. Play action. It's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Wilson will throw again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Now, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ballgame, but that's something right there still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
On first down, Justin Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up second and 2 at the 28-yard line.
Play action. It's Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Eckler is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Touchdown! Austin Eckler halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point good by Hopkins. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
But at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame who's
and for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
Wilson's throw there complete to Hamler.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense can very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2, Herbert.
Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give running left is Eckler.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. There's Wilson to throw. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And he's going to get this down near the 25. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 27.
They started on the ground with Eckler. Pat Surtain up to make the play.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. He's got this to Williams, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Dustin Hopkins to kick off for the Chargers.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that one.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, and they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. Fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this